We will begin today's part. Bring your palms together at the heart center in Namaste. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamrutavarshiniം Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayiniम् Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshiniम् Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam. Paramananda Madhavam. Gently bow your head down. Bring yourself to the class. Prepare yourself for the session. Whenever you're ready, gently lift your head up. Open your eyes. External eyes. Namo Namaha. Hari Om. We will chant verse 1 and 2 twice each. Then we will continue. Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Dhritarashtra Uvacha
Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre
Dharmashetre Kurukshetre
Samaveta
Samaveta Yutsavaha
Mamakah Pandavaschaiva
Mamaka Pandavaschaiva
Kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Kimakuravata Sanjaya.
Now together, everybody first verse. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtva tu Pandavanikam
Drushpa tu Pandavanikam
Vyudham Duryodhanastada
Yudham Duryodhanastadha
Acharyam Upasangamya
Upasangamya
Raja Vachanam Abravit.
Raja Vachanam Abravit.
Together. Sanjaya Uvacha Drishtva tu Pandavanikam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. Yes. Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Sanjaya Uvacha. In the previous part, we studied who was Dhritarashtra, who was Sanjaya. Now let us see how the conversation unfolds and where we go. So first to 20th verse, they are setting the background, giving us the background. भूमिकात्मक है, वो भूमिका प्रदान कर रहे हैं. They are setting the background as to what happened in the war. So we see what has happened. The Pratikriya, Arjuna, who's on the path of righteousness and good, versus Duryodhana, who is on the path of wrongdoing. Both have come onto the battlefield. But who is suffering? The one who is on the right path is suffering. Is Duryodhana feeling any fear? No. Is he suffering in that moment? No. And Arjuna, who is a Dharmatma, he is a person who is on the path of righteousness, he is the one who is suffering. And what happens then when he comes to the battlefield? The moment dharma comes, what happens to adharma? When actually they face each other, adharma starts weakening. So this battleground, this upadesha, we have to set a drishti today. Drishti is how we perceive. So there are three kinds of upadeshas. So the Vedas have the Prabhu Samvit Upadesha. Then the Puranas have the, we can say, Surata or Devika Samvit Upadesha. And the poetry, or we say all the literature, different kinds of kavya have Kanta Samvita Upadesha. What is the meaning of these three? First, Prabhu Samvita is to be heard or is given in Upadeshatmak, as in a disciplined form. The second, Suruta Samvit, like a friend. Upadesha is given in which way? Like a friend, Surita, very close one. And third, Kanta Samvita, as if the one is the beloved. Upadesha is given, it is seen that it is given in three ways. Now tell me, how this Upadesha in the Gita we see, the Upadesha given by Bhagavan to Arjuna. Can you identify which way or what kind of Upadesha this will be? Yes, we will have to unmute ourselves.
Shuruta. Second one?
Yes, Surita Samvita Upadesha, in a very friendly manner, like a friend. Because we see Bhagavan Krishna is incarnation to show the path of righteousness or dharma. And Arjuna, who is in dukkha, is bringing all this suffering of the mind to Krishna, who is also his friend. Now, two things are to be noted here. The first, in whom or in front of whom we are expressing our sorrow and what we are feeling sorrowful about. What we are feeling sorrowful about. What are we crying about? Very important to note. And in front of whom we are crying. So our acharyas always said, if we cry in front of the right person, even that becomes yoga. So same happened with Arjuna. He is bringing his suffering to the right source. Whatever he is feeling, he is expressing it in front of the right source. And therefore, what is happening? In return, he gets the teaching of yoga. So initially, he feels there is sorrow because of the battle or the loved ones he is facing. Deeper down, there is an investigation into the sorrow. What actually is the sorrow? Because he is attained artha, kama, dharma. So moksha not yet attained. Therefore, the sorrow is to the brain. So we see Bhagwan is giving the Surata Samhita Upadesha as a friend. But it is Upadesha to be noted. With complete respect, it is Upadesha, even if it is for the both of them. So this pratikriya, this expression, we see that the adharma and dharma, when they face each other, what happens? This is what we are going to see. And this is actually the 16th chapter, which is going to discuss Deva and Asuri Samvat. This is the example for it. So, with 16th chapter, what is discussed? The tendencies we see in the first Prathamadhyaya. So, what are we seeing here till now? The battlefield. Now, it is to be understood that the battlefield or whatever we are studying, is not to be limited at its sthulata. So now what kinds of upadesh we have seen, how to receive the upadesh also understand that. These are very fine details. Once we understand the correct procedure to study, it becomes easier for us to receive. So in three ways, one is Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika and Adhyatmika. In Adi Bhautika form, we will see Duryodhana and Arjuna as Bhautika, as Jiva, as beings made with 5 elements, Bhuta, Bhutatmaka. And if we convert this Upadesha into Adidevika, we will see the tendencies they are holding. Daiva tendencies or Asura tendencies. And if we convert this Upadesha into Adhyatmika Upadesha, we will see this Adhyatma, the battle, the Kurukshetra within us. The Daiva and Asura tendencies within us. Are we able to follow? Three ways of taking up the Upadesha, that is, उपदेश ग्रहण करने के 3 तरीके हैं, 3 स्तर है. पहले भौतिक जगत को ले लीजिए. The people who are discussed or who are being discussed here as Arjuna and Duryodhana, we will take them as Panchabhutatmaka. That's okay. We can then have the time and space in place also, the historical event, the background of the war of Mahabharata and everything. And after that, we will take them as Adidevika Upadesha. In Adidevika Upadesha, we will understand the tendencies. We will go beyond the name, the form, and the role of the character. And what we will understand? The Daivi and Asuri tendencies. The divine and not divine tendencies. Then further we will make it more subtle. We will completely absorb the verse by making it Adhyatmika. By seeing what is being discussed and reflecting up into one's own chittavastha, state of the chitta. Are we able to follow? So this is the correct way of Upadesha Grahana. And Upadesha is of 3 types you learned today. Different in the Vedas, different in the Puranas, different in the Kavya. We also understood what is the Upadesha in the Gita. Now Duryodhana is not suffering, Arjuna is suffering. But Bhagwan is going to share this Upadesha with Arjuna. Why? Because first Arjuna is Kshatriya and only Kshatriya is allowed to correct. Who is allowed to correct out of the 4 Varnas? The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and the Shudras. Who is allowed to correct? Kshatriya. So he has to make this correction. It is inevitable. He has to make this correction in his bloodline, in the kingdom, in the value system of the society. The other 3 Varnas not allowed to correct. Only 1 Varna is allowed to correct, and that is his dharma. Arjuna's dharma in that moment. So sense of justice, and if he doesn't correct, nobody else is allowed to correct. आप ग्रहण कर पा रहे हैं ना? So when we are understanding this, it becomes very important for Bhagwan to be with Arjuna in this moment. And in a Surata way, the one who is a dear friend. Upadesha, not as a student teacher in the classroom. Where is the Upadesha? On the battlefield, in the moment of life and death. And how it is? Like a friend. So Bhagwan is as a friend with Arjuna. For Arjuna, it will now go beyond friendship. Once he starts seeing the avatara. So it is said, Bhagwan Vishnu in the form of Veda Vyasa has helped us compile and compose these teachings. And Lord Krishna, incarnation, has given us this Upadesha. So therefore we see now in the second verse, Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya is narrating. We saw how a divine vision has been bestowed upon him in the previous class. Društva tu Pandavanikam Vyudam Duryodanas Tada. We see Društva tu. Sanjaya says, what happened after seeing the army of the Pandavas, which was a smaller army, the bigger army, the leader of the bigger army, what does he do? He approaches his teacher. Just like a small child, upon being fearful, goes to the mother. So what happens with Duryodhana here? He goes to the teacher, seeing Arjuna. So both of them are facing each other, in front of each other. And in the moment when the Pandava army comes to the battlefield, what happens to Duryodhana? First response, he goes running to the teacher. Just like a small child who is fearful, will first go running to the mother. Acharyam upasangamya Raja Duryodhana Vachanam Abravit spoke thus. Now, another learning we have here, when we say child running towards the mother, the understanding of moksha, independence. We see like the child who is conceived in the womb becomes independent of the mother upon birth outside the body. Then becomes more independent when starts walking and eating with one's own hand. Then starts becoming more independent as an adult. Now, what is the next stage of independence? Moksha. So, dependent existence and independent existence. Dependent existence is grahasthashram. Dependent existence is as per dharma. Independent existence is as per moksha. So what is your next stage of independence? And why we feel there is moksha or there is independence? Because we have seen this independence, the stage of independence from the womb to the birth, from crawling to standing and eating, from there to becoming self-sufficient and even providing. Now from there where? To being independent of life also, before death. In Mahamrutyunjaya mantra, this is very well experienced. Urvarukumiva bandhanan. Just like the ripe cucumber becomes independent of the veil, the string it's holding, the creeper, it falls off. The moment it is ripe, what happens? It falls off. It becomes independent. Until then, it's a part of the complete creeper. It's part, even a fruit, any fruit. Upon ripening, what happens? It falls off. And you consume. It's not that it's not consumable. It's in its best form when it falls off. So understanding that there is moksha is what? It is being led to the next stage of independence. Very few walk towards this independence. Very few understand this is to happen or this should happen naturally. And very few attain it also. Like you who are walking on this path. Urvarukumiva bandhanan. Just like the cucumber, which upon being ripe, fell from the creeper. Similarly, grant me moksha. Let me be ripe too, in my best way. It's not falling off when the fruit is diseased. No. It's falling when the fruit is completely ripe. It's sweet to taste. It is enjoyable by others. In that moment, it becomes independent of the. So when we look at Duryodhana here, tell us, is he independent or dependent yet? He's dependent. And Arjuna? Arjuna is also dependent. But Arjuna is dependent on Dharma. And Duryodhana is dependent on Adharma. Second verse we are able to understand? Yes. If there are questions, please ask, then we progress. To understand moksha, we are just understanding bondage. That's it. Let us see. Verse 3. Again, same way we will chant once after me, then once together. Pashyetam Panduputraणाम्
पश्चैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम्
Acharya Mahatim Chamu
आचार्य महतिं चमुं
Vyudham Drupadaputreణ
व्यूहां द्रुपदपुत्रेण
Tava Shishyeణ Dhimata.
तव शिष्येन धीमता.
Together. Pashyaitam Panduputraणाम् Acharya Mahatim Chamu Vyudham Drupadaputreణ Tava Shishyeణ Dhimata. And going to the teacher, what is he saying? Pashyetam, see. Pandu Putranam Acharya. Acharya, see. Pashyetam. Whom? Pandu Putranam. Mahatim Chamum, who has come with his big army. Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Tava Shishyena, the one whom you thought. Look at him. He's approaching you with the army. Dhimata will also signify here he's questioning the intellect of the teacher. That, see, you should have thought twice before teaching such a student. You gave all the knowledge, now what has happened? The student is here on the battlefield to fight with you. So in a way, he's questioning the intellect of his own teacher, and he's also reminding him, loudly saying it. When somebody is in fear, they will loudly repeat things. So what are we seeing in him? This loud repetition. So he's actually in a way talking to himself, repeating this to himself. Because now actual battle is taking place, and he knows that he's facing Arjuna, whom he has refused to even grant few villages, the Pandavas. So it is injustice. So in that moment, two things, in the stressed emotion, he will put the blame first on the teacher. He will not take ownership of his actions. Tava Shishyena Dhimata. See what you have done. And second, Pashyetam Mahatim Chamum. See, you've not only taught the wrong person, but the person who is going to end all of us. In a way, he is fearful. So we see the person who is on the side of the wrongdoing, they go through a hysteric situation. He's going through this hysteria where Arjuna is crippled with fear. Duryodhana is more into anger. So adharma, a person who is adharmic, when they are challenged, they resort to anger. Remember this. And the person who is on the side of right doing or the dharma will show compassion. So what is Arjuna still going to feel? Why should I go ahead with the path? Why should I proceed with this war? So natural state when you attain is compassion, even when you are in high suffering. When you are in highest of suffering and you have compassion in the heart, know you are on the path of righteousness. Correct dependent existence on dharma. And adharma, anger. So in the moment when being stressed, what he's doing, he's more angry and he's showering, thundering this anger onto others around. This response we see in the third verse. Yes, if we have any questions, we can ask. Bhumikatmak, as we discussed, first 20 verse will give us the background. They will have a setting. So we will mentally visualize the complete battlefield.
Ma'am, who are they referring to? Drupad Putren?
Drupada putrena tava shishyena Draupadi.
Okay. To Draupadi.
So Drupada Raja's lineage here we will take. Drupada is name of the Raja also. We will see. All of these will be introduced one by one. So we see to be one regarded as whose husband and whose son. Two things will come on to the अंडरस्टैंडिंग विथ वर्सेस. दो चीजें प्रकट होगी. पहले किनके पति है. सो दे वर ऑल्सो एड्रेस्ड. मोस्ट ऑफ द princes or kings were addressed in two ways, by their mother's name and their wife's name. Please note this. And sometimes by the gotra or kula. So we've had the shabda samskara. We will have its pada vichcheda and samskara soon. For now, just this much is okay for us. So whatever reference we will see, either it's the name of the mother, like Kaunteya, Gudakeshaha. Bhagwan is going to call Kaunteya many times. Drupada Putrena will be addressed by lineage, will be addressed by name of the mother, or will be addressed by the name of the wife. For men, three ways. Which are the three?
By the name of the wife,
Yes.
name of the mother or the lineage,
Yes. And
or the gotra.
yes, sometimes by Guru also. Guru Gotra. And especially in the Upanishads, we have two Gotras. So two names are given to some of the sages, which means they were adopted. There are also references where one person is given two names, is addressed by two names at the same time. Twice you have to take two different names. So for any person, it could be confusing. How are we taking two names at the same time? What will be the reason for it?
You must be adopted.
Yes. The reason is because they are adopted. It's mostly in the Chandogya Upanishad. In the Chandogya Upanishad, in fact, in a very beautiful way, we see that we call the study of Gita, when we do it in the morning, it's known as, or it becomes Udgita also. Surya Uday, rising. Udgita, like all the birds and animals, They have a sound vibration when they arise in the morning. They welcome whom? The sun. So we call it Udgayana. In the morning, they rise up. They call out, all birds, all animals, that we are hungry, we have woken up, please provide us with food. Because of these sound vibrations, the plants are able to produce food. All the hormonal changes in humans, positive changes also take up because of the sound vibration of the animals early morning. Similarly, when a human is chanting, it becomes Udgita. So Gita, when you're chanting early in the morning, it will give you the benefit of punya, of being also the Udgita. उद्गायन कर रहे हैं आप, like other birds, like other animals, waking up in the morning and you are chanting. So Gita, Udgita. Why Udgita? Because you are rising up early in the morning and you are chanting. So see how you have changed it more powerfully into Vedic chanting just by doing it, practicing it in the morning, where other animals and other birds just go out. You listen to few sounds of birds in the morning. And in the same time, you're chanting as well. So Gita, Udgita. We're going to pause here today. I hope basic understanding of the verse we have obtained. With more verses, we will be studying more in detail. For today, all that we have studied, if possible, once in a week, just write down and make a note of it. Just revisit it once. It will be helpful for the next part on Tuesday. We conclude. Bring your palms together at the heart center. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently bow your head down. Feel grateful for this learning. When you're ready, gently lift your head up, open your eyes, extend. Namo Namaha, Hari Om. Take the teachings of the Gita wherever you go today with you. Namaste.